5,000 to watch these teams that met last year in the playoffs with Boomer Esiason. Now, Boomer, I talked about the fact the Jaguars haven't put everything together. Defensively, they've been great, but offensively, so many potent weapons, and yet only 6 offensive touchdowns in 4 games. What's going on?
Well, you and I talked to Tom Coughlin last night. He was talking about confidence, and here you are with one of the best quarterbacks in football with a whole bunch of stars around him. I sense tension. Head coach Tom Coughlin now has become the offensive coordinator, and when things don't go well, when you're calling plays, you have to start pinpointing players. And he's pinpointed Mark Brunell for his lack of leadership on the field, but also his lack of decision-making, which has really hurt their offense.
It's a big story in Jacksonville. The big story, of course, in New York was the season-ending loss on opening day. Vinny Testaverde going down. Rick Meyer has come in. It's his team right now. What's the progress report?
You know, about 6 weeks ago, Al, Rick Meyer was the second-string quarterback for the Green Bay Packers. He had just figured out that playbook. Now, all of a sudden, he finds himself basically manning a Super Bowl team, or what many people thought was going to be a Super Bowl team. He'll be wearing a wristband on his wrist tonight to help him understand the plays a little bit better. And as Bill Parcells told us last night, it's not about Rick Meyer figuring out the offense. It's about the Jets figuring out what Rick Meyer can do.
Good matchup tonight. Crowd really into it at the Meadowlands. Jets and Jaguars on Monday Night Football.
Shannon Sharp, please, has always talking trash.
You're paying, baby.
He's always trying to get inside your head.
Seahorse, you don't know your elbows from your...
And sometimes he can get downright nasty.
I bet you pay transaction fees on your mutual funds. Your mama pays full commission. You know how to calculate a P/E ratio?
When we created a smarter kind of investment firm,
How diversified is your portfolio?
we created a smarter kind of investor.
You can't even spell Dow Jones. Woo! Okay, guys, let's get this right. To calculate a P/E ratio, you divide the stock price.
ABC Sports welcomes you to the following presentation of the National Football League.
Ready for the kickoff? Just prior to the kick, let's go down to the field and Leslie Visser. Hi, Leslie.
Hi, Alan Boomer. Well, you remember last year when Jacksonville played the Jets, Bill Parcells said, we're going for their throat right away. What will be the approach tonight, Bill?
Well, the win's a big factor tonight, Leslie, so we're against the win right now. We're going to have to control the ball a little bit more.
What about with Rick Meyer, his first start on Monday Night Football against the top-ranked defense? What do you expect from him?
I just want him to play error-free and do the best he can. That's all.
We'll see if he does. Thanks, Bill. A Bill Parcells team has never lost to Tom Coughlin. Al?
Bill's teams are 3-0, and they include a couple of games when Bill was the head coach of the New England Patriots. The Jets to get the football. Steve Lindsay to kick off for Jacksonville. He already has 9 touchbacks this season and make it 10 to lead the league in that department. Mike Hollis is their regular place kicker, but Lindsay is on the active roster because of just such situations. The New York Jets begin with Rick Meyer, who was the number 2 pick overall in 1993 by the Seattle Seahawks when Drew Bledsoe was the number 1 pick of the New England Patriots. And behind him, Anderson and Martin in the backfield, Johnson and Ward outside. Eric Green is the tight end. Elliott, Jenkins, Mawai, Randy Thomas, and Fabini up front. Thomas, a rookie, the right guard from Mississippi State. And they begin with Martin, who picks up a couple to the 22-yard line. We should see a big dose of him, as was the case in the playoff game last year. Defensively, for the Jags, Smengi, Walker, Payne, and Brackens up front. Tony had 2.5 sacks last week against Pittsburgh. Pop, March, and Hardy are the linebackers. And the secondary features the rookie Fernando Bryant and Aaron Beasley having a great year. Darius and Carnell Lake, the longtime Steeler, are the safeties. 2nd down and 7 from the 23-yard line. And this is Martin again. And last year in the playoff game, Boomer, Martin carried the ball 36 times and also caught 6 passes.
One of the reasons that Tom Coughlin wanted to go out and get a new defensive coordinator, really, because he lost Dick Jauron to the Chicago Bears, who went on to become their head coach. But really, he felt that his defense was basically outmanned last year, especially against the Jets. And he knew that he had to support a new coaching staff to come in here and make sure that he get a new defensive scheme together and stop the run. That's the key in this league.
And the third down alignment, Bernie Parmalee is in the game, the longtime Dolphin. And this is Parmalee with the ball, but he can pick up only 4 to the 28. So the Jets keep it on the ground for their first 3 plays and are 3 and out. Bryant Boyer making the stop.
Well, that's a conservative way to start the football game. You heard Bill Parcells say to Leslie that the wind is in their faces now. This is one of the most difficult stadiums in all of football to complete passes, especially on a windy day, because it swirls and it goes in all different directions. The punting game and the passing game obviously are going to be the most effective.
Tom Tupa to punt. And he sends this one down to Reggie Barlow at the 35-yard line, and Barlow brings it back to the 39. The Jacksonville Jaguars with Mark Brunell, originally drafted in 1993 by Green Bay. Backed up Brett Favre and Ty Detmer there for a couple of years, and then went to Jacksonville when the expansion team came into being in 95. And behind him, Fred Taylor is out tonight with a hamstring, so it's Stewart and Shelton in the backfield. Smith and McCardell, great wideouts. Brady, the ex-Jet, tight end. Pacelli, Coleman, Wade, Tilsky, and Searcy up front. The tackles are great. Pacelli to the Pro Bowl the last couple of seasons. Here is Stewart on first down. And Stewart chugs his way for 6 out to the 44-yard line, fighting his way out to the 44. Tackled there by Victor Green. Let's take a look at the Jets. The Jets, one of 4 teams in the league playing a 3-4. Lyle Ferguson comes back from an ankle injury, and Pleasant up front. The linebackers, Lewis, Brian Cox, Marvin Jones, and Roman Pfeiffer. And in the secondary, Glenn and Nickens at the corners. Green and Atwater are the safeties. They got Otis Smith back as their starting corner last week, and then he re-broke his collarbone and is done for the season as Brunell throws to Stewart, and Stewart is chased out of bounds near the first down marker by Mo Lewis, a little short.
One of the reasons that the Jacksonville offense has kind of sputtered the last few weeks is because of Mark Brunell and some of the decisions he's made. And he knows that he is not playing as well as he would like, but also you could sense, as I said in the opening, Al, that there's tension, because now all of a sudden the head coach becomes the offensive coordinator, and he can no longer just kind of graze over things. He has to be more pinpointed in his criticism of his offensive players now.
And as you might suspect, both Brunell and Coughlin completely refute the stories, and this is Stewart picking up the first down, getting across the 50-yard line, breaking a Brian Cox would-be tackle and falling forward for a gain of 3.
When you look at this offense, however, Al, you know there's a lot of explosive players on here. And watch Brian Cox. And these are the types of plays that you need to make if you want to win in this league. You got to break tackles. Brian's got to make that tackle or Stewart breaks it. And certainly right there, Stewart did his job. But you look at this offense, and it's littered with just outstanding football players. And you know sooner or later that they're going to break out.
Tavian Banks is split wide to the left on first down.
And here's Mark Audibling at the line of scrimmage. He senses a blitz by the New York Jets, and here they come.
And Brunell with a quick 2-step drop, and it looked like that pass was tipped, but he gets it to Jimmy Smith. You know what I find to be so ironic here, Boomer, is that there's so much controversy, at least in the newspapers in Jacksonville, about Coughlin making the play calls. Tom has been an offensive-oriented coach his entire career, and yet here in New York, and it's been fairly quiet, but it's happened. Bill Parcells is making the play calls.
You can see the ball is tipped right at the line of scrimmage. It's not an easy thing when a head coach starts calling his plays, especially when an offense that's been so explosive in the past is sputtering.
And Parcells, of course, defensively oriented throughout his career. 2nd and 6, and that pass is incomplete, intended for Keenan McCardell.
You know, it's incomplete, but what I like about that is that Mark Brunell did not take a sack. He threw the ball away. He knew that he was going to get pressure from Brian Cox. And don't make a bad play into a play that's going to put you in an even deeper hole. And that's why Mark Brunell is one of the smarter quarterbacks in football. He doesn't take a lot of stupid sacks.
Bill Belichick, the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator, and the guy who will at some point succeed Parcells as the Jets head coach, whenever that might be. We'll get into that story a little bit later as we progress here. The stoppage of play here to reset the play clock.
One of the defenders actually kicked the ball when he was coming out of the huddle, but there are so many opportunities for this Jacksonville offense to break out, and tonight will be a good chance because they'll play a lot of man coverage in the secondary.
3rd down and 6. Brunell rolling to his left, wide open, finds McCardell and picks up a first down.
Case in point right there, Al, when you start running guys across the motion, you're trying to give defenses different look, and you try to confuse defensive backs. And right there, McCardell was able to confuse and rub off, pick as you will, if you will, like they do in the NBA, and get open. And the Jets will give you an opportunity to do that because Belichick likes to play in-your-face type of football.
Brunell 3 for his first 4. First down, Jacksonville at the 30-yard line. McCardell motion the other way this time. Back to the ground they go. And this is Stewart. Stewart was their primary running back when the team came into existence. Marvin Jones makes the hit there. And then Stewart lost his job. He was injured last year. They had drafted Fred Taylor from Florida. And by the time Stewart got healthy again, Taylor had already established himself. And that is Marvin Jones, who is down on the turf.
And he's a nice change of pace guy for the Jacksonville Jaguars. He's not the guy that's going to get you the 75-yard run like Taylor will, but he is a big back, and in between the tackles, he can run it up in there. And you can see Marvin Jones, after colliding with Stewart, just how difficult it is to tackle him. You know, and Stewart knows something too, Al. He knows that Fred Taylor is the man. He knows that he's the guy that's going to get all the publicity. So he's certainly going to want to make a name for himself, especially here on Monday night. There's Marvin right there trying to take down Stewart one-on-one, but you can see right there he takes a hit by Roman Pfeiffer, number 56. Oof. You talk about a hard luck guy. This guy, Marvin Jones, has had injury after injury since he's been drafted here, and not a good way to start the game for Marvin.
Dwayne Gordon comes in for him. The Jaguars this season, 143 rushing yards per game, tops in the league. Second down 7 from the 27-yard line. Brunell buys time, comes back the other way. A very well-designed play, and that is Damon Jones, the tight end, making the catch, and it's Gordon who came in to replace Jones, who has to chase him down. First down, Jaguars.
All this is what they call a Y sneak. The Y is the tight end in an offense. When they fake a run to his side, the tight end is making like he's blocking, goes down on the ground, gets up and drags underneath the defense. It's a terrific play call, especially down tight here when teams are going to be playing more man-to-man in the red zone.
And especially knowing the coverage would have to come from the guy who just came into the game, Gordon, replacing the injured Jones. First down at the 17-yard line. Brunell gets out of bounds just about at the line of scrimmage, maybe a minimal pickup. Mo Lewis runs him out there.
Well, if the offensive coordinator keeps calling plays like this could be a big night for them. I wonder if the head coach will let him.
Tom Coughlin could have been on the other sideline tonight. When you think about it, in 1993, when he was the head coach at Boston College, he was the first choice of the New York Giants to succeed Ray Handley. He turned it down. Dave Wanstead then turned the job down and accepted the Chicago job, and Dan Reeves got the job. Second down and 10 at the 17-yard line. Stewart again. Taken down at the 9-yard line. 2 yards shy of the first down. Dwayne Gordon making the tackle.
You want to get your offense healthy in a hurry? Just have a back running it through the holes like this guy is tonight. Everything seems to work a little bit easier from that point on. And a really nice block at the point of attack by number 88, Damon Jones, on number 57, Mo Lewis. And Stewart looks like he's running tough. Take a look at Baselli. He's your left tackle right there. He's drive blocking. And look at Damon Jones just cut it off. Baselli could have got called for a hold there, too.
3rd and 1, and this is Stewart. And Stewart pounds his way down to the 7-yard line, and that will move the chains and set up a 1st and goal on a drive that commenced at the 39-yard line. So the Jets were 3 and out on 3 running plays, and the Jaguars now with a 1st and goal at the New York 7.
I think they might even measure for this one.
Well, Paul McGuire would have called it a 1st down immediately. But you're right, it's a little closer than I thought.
Now, the interesting thing, if you are the Jaguars right now, Al, coming into this game, knowing that you're playing a team that's wounded.
What did I tell you?
It was the first down. You did a good job. You saw the yellow line. Come on, it's easy. But really, when you think about it, if you're the Jaguars coming in here, go ahead, Al.
Well, don't forget interactive TV from Monday Night Football Enhanced TV. Log on to ESPN.com or NFL.com for Enhanced TV.
what I was saying. You're playing a wounded animal in the New York Jets. You have to come in here and you have to increase the doubt in their mind. Are they good enough to stay with us? Don't play conservative. Get points and go after it.
First and goal from the 7-yard line. Stewart again. And Stewart fights his way to the 3-yard line, tackled there by Dwayne Gordon. There's no question that James Stewart is the type of back who could start for a lot of teams. His misfortune, though, is the fact that he's playing on a team with a guy like Fred Taylor. And the difference really is that Taylor can break it. Taylor last year with 3 runs of 50 yards or better.
He's got some giddy up and he can go, and that's what I was talking about earlier. This guy will run it inside and he'll get the tough yards for you. You know, to me, I think he's really unselfish too, Al. That's the key, because you don't really hear too much about it.
Second down and goal now from the 3. Stewart's already carried 6 times. This is his 7th, and this carry takes him in for the touchdown. He broke the plane of the goal line behind Baselli and Coleman. And the Jacksonville Jaguars have methodically marched 61 yards in 13 plays.
Well, Tom Coughlin told us last night that he was happy with his offensive line now that he's got Coleman back in there, and you could see those guys pulling around the corner and opening the hole. And James Stewart is really running hard tonight. You could see right here, he's not going to get stopped when he gets down to the goal line. And he's lowering his shoulder and he's making plays.
Stewart carried 7 times for 30 yards on the drive. Brunell passing for 31, and now Mike Hollis to the point after.
Easy, guys, easy.
And the Jaguars out in front in the Meadowlands with 6:36 to play in the opening quarter at Giant Stadium. Jacksonville leading the Jets 7-0.
Hey, man, she's here.
Check it out. That's
cool. Yeah, they are.
Pick one.
Which one? You like this one?
Easy, man. Easy. How about this little guy? Huh?
Yeah. Good choice.
Together we've celebrated birthdays and opening days. Good efforts and little losses. Moments that live once and forever. But what we've really celebrated is time together. Now McDonald's salutes the year-long Walt Disney World Millennium Celebration, where new memories are yet to come. Commemorate this momentous event at McDonald's with 4 special edition glasses. Where can you start celebrating the millennium? Did somebody say McDonald's?
Monday Night Football is online, featuring chats with Terrell Davis and interactive polls at ESPN.com.
7 runs and 5 passes. 7 runs by Stewart and then 1 run by Mark Brunell that netted no gain. 13 plays, 61 yards. And Steve Lindsay, whose first kickoff resulted in a touchback, sends this one to about the same spot, juggled, dropped, and then keeping it in the end zone was Robert Farmer, who had thought about coming out and then was fortunate it didn't bounce out over the goal line. The Jets take it at the 20, down by 7.
Does this look like France to you?
Computer says we're over Paris.
But that's a yak. Didn't you check that computer out before you bought it?
No. Why?
Before you buy technology products, read the reviews on CNET.com.
Oh, look, there's the Eiffel Tower.
We build walls with our everyday routines. Walls those that make a nasty habit of separating us from our dreams. But what if there was a way to break through to your dreams? There is a way. All you need is an outfitter with the right equipment. Ford is your outfitter, offering you the most far-reaching sport utilities on Earth. Climb in and watch the walls come tumbling down. Ford Outfitters, no boundaries.
Let's launch it, Slim. We talked about this all week. We got to stick with the game plan. We got to run the ball. James says the max protect. Out right, fox right, hound right, near right, zip, 989. Who's James?
Use your Visa card and you could win a once-in-a-lifetime NFL fantasy. Play flag football with the pros. Go to the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Be in a Super Bowl halftime show. Or roam the sidelines before a real game. Visa, it's everywhere NFL fans want to be.
5 words changed history and made our hearts skip a beat.
Houston, we have a problem.
Apollo 13, ABC Saturday.
The aerial camera tonight provided by Southwest Airlines for about 8 miles west of Midtown Manhattan. As Rick Meyer begins his second series, as you can see in each of the 3 games, he has been the Jets' starting quarterback. He's improved.
He certainly has.
Yeah, to the point where last week, 8.64 yards per pass. And anytime you're above 8, there's a good chance you're going to win the game. And Meyer's first pass of the game here, right on the money to Keyshawn Johnson, who pulls it in at the 36 for a first down.
Just throw it to that guy. You know, I was talking to him this week, and this is the first time I really had met him, so I really didn't know what to expect. And he was engaging, and he is charismatic. And I'll tell you what, he is some kind of football player. He will go after the football if you are a quarterback. You can deliver it with confidence. That's exactly what Rick does right here. And Keyshawn is big enough and strong enough to go up and take the ball away.
16-yard gain. Johnson last week caught 8 passes, had a touchdown against Denver. And now it's Curtis Martin picking up a couple to the 39. We talked to Bill Parcells last night. I asked him, I said, through 4 games, who've been your best players? Right off the bat, he says, Cox and Johnson.
That's exactly right. And both of them have made plays week in and week out, trying to keep the team together. Those are the 2 leaders. There's your defensive leader and Brian Cox. And then also Keyshawn. Both are highly explosive players, however. Their personalities, you want to keep the team winning and let their job of leading be a little bit easier.
2nd and 7. Nice play fake, set up the screen. Good-looking setup, but then Richie Anderson starts to stumble and goes down to the 44-yard line.
Now, we talked about Rick Meyer and what he's been able to accomplish the last few weeks. And he's feeling more comfortable. And you can see right there is his wristband. It has all the plays on there. Bill Parcells has done this with Vinny Testaverde last year. What it does, it allows these guys to be able to just recite the plays, not have to memorize the plays. And it's a little bit easier. And Rick was telling me yesterday that it actually has taken some of the pressure off of him. That he's able to just concentrate on what he has to do with the defense and just get the play out easily.
3rd down and 4. Meyer making his first appearance ever on Monday Night Football. Throws, hits Johnson, but Keyshawn appears to be shy of the first down. His forward progress is across the 45, but appears to be inches shy of the first down. Fernando Bryant with the tackle, the number 1 draft choice, the rookie from Alabama.
And he's going to punt. He's not going to go for it. And you know, these 2 coaches are guys that usually like to play it by the book, especially Tom Coughlin. They're going to try to play field position. They're going to try to keep the game close and hopefully try to get something to happen in the 4th quarter for their team. And talking to Tom Coughlin about last week's game in Pittsburgh, when they didn't really score any points. They didn't play well on offense. And they had a couple plays, you can see just about a foot, but they're going to play the percentages. And he makes no bones about it. I mean, he's going to tell you, look, I'm going to play the percentages. If I don't think that an opposing team's offense can beat me, and he didn't think that Pittsburgh could beat them last week, then I'm just going to try to pin him back and just keep playing field position. Hence the conservative play calling and also in a conservative way of playing the game.
Tom Tupa to punt, 4th and inches now. 4.5 to go in the opening quarter. The Jaguars have had the ball once tonight. Went 61 yards for the touchdown. 13 plays. Now Tom Tupa to punt. Reggie Barlow back to receive it.
Okay, it's all yours now.
Again, with this win, Reggie Barlow has got to concentrate on this ball when it comes down.
Barlow is very sure-handed, very rarely fumbles. Lets this one go. It bounces at the 6, and the Jets try to save it before it crosses the goal line, and they do. It's Chris Hayes who gets down there to down it, to swat it back, and pin the Jaguars deep. 54-yard punt. So Jacksonville will start 98 yards away, 4:09 to go in the period.
There's Rick Meyer looking at the pictures that have come down, and Ray Lucas, the backup quarterback, to his right. Interesting. You know, at least they open it up a little bit on offense. But they're going to have to shut them down here to give their offense. Doesn't look like their offense is going to move too well tonight.
After a great play by Chris Hayes, pins him at the 1. Marvin Jones is back in, the Jet linebacker. And this is Stewart giving him some breathing space, taking it up to the 5-yard line. Tackled there by Rick Lyle. Meyer and Brunell each drafted in 1993. Think about it. Rick, the second choice. Brunell was the 118th choice, selected by Green Bay. And there are their marks through the years. Rick, 15 games under 500. And Brunell, 11 games over.
Just remember that Mark Brunell wasn't asked to play early on like Rick Meyer was.
Meyer, an immediate starter in Seattle, and Brunell was Brett Favre's backup for a couple of years in Green Bay. On 2nd and 6, it is thrown away. 3rd down and 6.
You know, when you're down here, you want to be careful. There's no question about that. But if Mark Brunell would have been looking left, he would have found Keenan McCardell wide open about 25 yards downfield. But when you're down here as a quarterback in your own end zone, you have to be careful. Your decisions have to be quick. You have to make sure that you know where you're going. You cannot hesitate. Better to be safe than sorry.
It's a metaphor for life.
You like that, don't you?
3rd down and 6. From the 5. Here comes the blitz. Cox busts through, but Brunell escapes his clutches and then has to throw it away. But Brian Cox forced the issue.
The amazing thing is when these guys come at you, they come at you with such fury that all you have to do is just give them a little head shake, and then boom, they get away from you, and you can get away from them. Watch Brian Cox come right up the middle. He runs right around the center, John Wade. No panic in Mark Brunell, though. And does the smart thing and gets rid of the football. Good job by the defense of the New York Jets.
Brian Barker, one of the original Jaguars. He's been their punter since their first ever game. And this is a beauty that takes a tremendous punt. It is fielded at the 12-yard line. What a bounce. Corey Sawyer runs it back to the 23. So the line of scrimmage was the 5. The ball was fielded inside the 20. Officially, it is an 83-yard punt at a most opportune time. 7-0 Jack. This is Curtis Martin picking up 4 to the 27. So the Jets had the Jaguars in a hole, and then Barker, who had held the career mark, longest punt in Jacksonville history, had been 65 yards, eclipses that by a mere 18.
He's a hero. Look at him. I can do that any day.
He had a great week last week against the Steelers, pinning Pittsburgh deep, kick after kick.
And what a valuable weapon for Tom Coughlin, and you wonder why, maybe he wants to use the punter, and certainly he showed why he would want to use him right there.
2nd down and 6. Martin picks up the 1st down and rumbles out to the 40-yard line behind a Richie Anderson block.
It's a terrific block. And there is Vinny Testaverde right there. And Vinny, I just circled. Just say hi. And he doesn't want to say hi, I guess. But he is, there's Wayne Corbett. Wayne Corbett has a broken foot. He actually did practice this week, but was stumbling around on the practice field. At least that's what Bill Parcells said. He has a screw inserted into his left foot. He says it feels like there's a rock in his shoe when he's running out. But he said he will be back next week.
From the 40-yard line, Meyer.
Throw it away. Just throw it away.
Good ball handling, but the secondary does its job, and Rick is tackled at the 37-yard line. That'll be a 3-yard sack. Hardy is there. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Ford Outfitters. No boundary quarter. The injured Jaguar is Eric Curry, so an injury timeout. 7-0 Jacksonville. Eric Curry will have to be taken back to the Jaguar locker room. Dom Capers, who had been the Carolina Panther head coach, now the defensive coordinator, playing with a much shorter deck up front now on 2nd and 13. As this is swung out to Richie Anderson. Anderson is out of bounds up at about the 45-yard line, 5 yards shy of the first.
Remember where Dom Capers was before he became the head coach of the Carolina Panthers. He was the defensive coordinator for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when you look at the roster of the Jacksonville Jaguars, not only does it include him, it includes Carnell Lake and Leon Searcy. And the quickest way to get healthy in your own division is to deplete the other teams within your division through free agency. And that's exactly what the Jacksonville Jaguars have done. They've also added Gary Walker, one of the defensive tackles from the Tennessee Titans.
3rd down and 4 from the 46-yard line. Jaguars blitz. Meyer throws, swings it out to Anderson, but no place to go. No blocking, taken down by Aaron Beasley, who's had a great start to this season.
He really has, but you can see the conservative play calling by the Jets. A lot of little play action passes, also some screen passes, and there's Aaron Beasley. Makes a nice tackle on Richie Anderson, not giving Rick Meyer a chance to get back in the pocket and throw the ball downfield. Now, I don't know whether that is the strategy because they're into the wind and they're not confident in his arm, but we'll see when the quarter turns around.
Tom Tuca's kick. Barlow is back, calls for the fair catch, and makes it at the 7-yard line. So again, Jacksonville will begin deep in its own territory. And we can tell you that on an all-new Drew Carey show, Bo Derek guest stars, and it's a definite 10. Drew Carey Wednesdays, right here on ABC.
How come we never get any guest stars like that, Al?
We don't?
No, we don't.
Bo's been to.
Bo hasn't been around when I've been around.
Well, just wait.
We don't get Heather Locklear. We don't get Bo. We don't.
The season is young.
All right.
Trust me.
So you're going to tell me you're going to pull somebody up here that is going to impress me?
At gunpoint.
Okay.
35 seconds at the 8-yard line. 1st down for the Jacksonville Jaguars. On top 7-0 is Brunell. Goes over the middle. Caught there by McCardell to the 15. On the earlier punt by Barker, 83 yards. Just for the record, if you're wondering about the longest punt in the history of the NFL, it's held by a New York Jet. Steve O'Neill did it in 1969 at Denver. Mark Brunell 5 of 8. Rick Meyer is 5 for 5.
Rick Meyer really hasn't had an opportunity to really throw the ball down the field. He did once to Keyshawn, but that was it. Everything has been play action, low screen passes.
Jacksonville 1st down from the 15-yard line. Stewart, who had a big first series, gets tripped up by Brian Cox. Gain of 7. And we'll check in with Leslie Visser. Leslie?
Al, Eric Curry is out for the game. We can't blame the turf yet for that injury, but as you know, next year they will replace the turf here with grass. It'll cost $1 million, and both Vinny Testaverde and Wayne Corbett are really glad that this is going to happen. Vinny won't blame the turf for his Achilles injury, but he said he's always hated it, and that was one of the concerns in coming here as a free agent. As for Wayne, he told me that this stadium, Cincinnati, and Philadelphia are the worst in the league. Al, it's amazing that Boomer never hurt himself playing on 2 of those fields.
As Brunell throws a 10 after the Jacksonville timeout, the Jaguars with the ball at their own 21-yard line. Early in the 2nd quarter, 7-0 Jacksonville. And Brunell throws. It's caught on the far side by Damon Shelton, the fullback. And Shelton is pushed out of bounds up at the 30-yard line, a little short of the 1st down. It'll be 3rd and 1.
These are the things that a smart quarterback can do for you, Al. Just take what they give you, and in looking at some of the past games that Mark Brunell has been playing, and he hasn't been doing this. And when you have opportunities on 2nd and 1st down to complete passes, you don't feel like you have to throw the ball down the field and force an issue.
There's Stewart picking up the 1st down on the 3rd and 1. So a run, a pass, and then a run and a 1st down up to the 37-yard line. This is a game, Boomer. There's no question about it. It's an important game, obviously, for both teams. You can make a case for it being important for Jacksonville in the sense that They're playing a quality opponent, and they want to get their ship righted. But this is a vital game for the New York Jets.
There are significant games on your schedule when you come into the season. You just don't know when they're going to hit you. And right now for the Jets, confidence-wise, if they can win this game somehow, they can right their ship, if you will. And then maybe they can find a way to win the next few weeks, and before you know it, you're back to 500. And right now, that's what the Jets need. And they can't win it all on defense either. They're going to have to loosen up on offense. Rick Meyer last week against Denver opened up with 2 long passes for touchdowns. You know, and that's the way that they have to play. That's the way they played with Vinny Testaverde last year, and they're going to have to start doing that this year with Rick Meyer.
And Parcells said, I'm just focusing with this team on each individual game. He said, I'm not letting them look at the larger picture.
Oh, he never lets them look at the big picture. No way.
From the 37-yard line, this is Stewart reversing his field, loses the football, and the Jets pick it up at the 47-yard line.
Exactly what the New York Jets need from their defenses to give their offense good field position. Now let's see if Bill Parcells is going to loosen it up a little bit and go downfield and use number 19, Keyshawn Johnson, against the smaller DBs of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Marcus Coleman, one of the nickel backs for the Jets, a guy seeing more action now with the injury to Otis Smith. Well, able to pick up the fumble.
He's seeing more action, too, because of reasons like this. 2 interceptions last week against Denver, and now comes up with a huge fumble recovery for the New York Jets.
It looked like the ball was kicked out. Maybe by one of the Jacksonville linemen at the 47-yard line. First down for the Jets.
Here you go.
And it's Meyer, but he's flushed out under a lot of heat, and then just has to throw it away. So they were going to go deep, but Joel Smingy forced the issue.
He had Keyshawn one-on-one with Beasley, but as he came out of his play fake, he had guys right in his face. So, okay, smart thing. Get out of there, throw the ball away, don't take a sack, and give yourself a manageable distance right here. I like the play call, however, because you have to put some fear in the opposing defense.
Let's go back to the fumble. It looked like somebody's foot accidentally jarred the football loose.
Right there.
Coming up, there it is, right there. One of the Jet defensive linemen. And now Martin takes the ball to the 43-yard line.
Now, even though that defensive lineman can't see the running back coming through the hole, he's actually trying to make a play. He's trying to give somebody, the running back, something to see and to run away from. It's just about instincts at that point. When you're down, getting drilled into the line of scrimmage like that or into the turf, you know, you're sticking your leg up, hopefully that somebody will have to run around it. And I think it was Jason Ferguson, the nose tackle.
In the middle, 3rd down and 6 now for the Jets after Parcells sends in the play. Meyer throws, and that is incomplete. Good tight coverage. Quinn Early, the 3rd Jet wideout, covered by Carnell Lake. Another look, and we believe it's Ferguson, the nose tackle, whose foot dislodges the football.
You know, and he's been out, Al, due to injury, and this is the first week he's back, and there's his leg right there up. He actually is trying to make the play. Obviously doesn't think he can kick the ball out, but he's trying to leg whip or trip the running back. A great play by Ferguson.
But the Jets can't capitalize. They are 3 and out, and Coop is forced to punt again. Floats one down to the 16-yard line, where it's taken by Reggie Barlow, and he was tackled immediately.
Special teams and defense can only get you so far. The Jet offense has got to wake up.
11:49 left in the half.
Well, there's Keyshawn Johnson on the sideline. During commercial, he was working Bill Parcells. Right, look, Coach, I'm open. Just get me the ball. Just keep calling it. You know, Bill Parcells wants to hear this right now. And then after that, he goes over to Rick Meyer, and he says, come on, Rick, you got to throw me the ball. I'm wide open. Come on. Didn't he write a book, Al?
Just throw me the damn ball.
That's exactly right.
At the 17-yard line, this is Stewart, a busy man already tonight with 13 carries. And the one thing about Keyshawn Johnson, he goes to the right guy. We mentioned earlier that Bill Parcells has taken over the play calling. So Meyer has all of the plays on his wrist. Charlie Weiss is the offensive coordinator, but Bill Parcells is calling the plays. And on the headset is Pat Hodgson. There is Charlie Weiss upstairs.
And Charlie, remember this, Charlie is the architect of this offense. He's the guy that has to put it all together. He's the guy that has to make sure that all the personnel formations and everything work in order. And then Bill gets to call the plays during the week.
2nd down on Sunday. And 6. And then Monday from behind by Lyle. Brunell throws it away. The one thing about Parcells is Bill, if he doesn't want to talk about something, he will poo-poo it. So when you talk to Bill about making the play calls, he just sort of sloughs it off and says things like, oh, I've done that for a long time, which he really hasn't. He's done it very infrequently. We all know that. But, you know, the thing about if Bill doesn't want to talk about something, if you were to say to Bill, you know, Bill, tomorrow the sun is going to come up in the west, he'd say no big deal.
I think that's an appropriate way to describe it. Right? Yeah, absolutely.
3rd down and 6.
But you better throw the ball, no interception.
Right. From the 21-yard line. Here come the Jets. Brunell walks it deep. It's a little underthrown and trying to adjust, but not having possession of it was Reggie Barlow, we believe, and they do say he juggled it. Consultation amongst the officials. Marcus Coleman with the coverage on the play. Never had possession.
It was definitely the right call, but in this stadium, when you are going the way that the Jacksonville Jaguars are going, and you're throwing down the left-hand sideline, the wind is going to take the ball outside, and Brunell obviously doesn't know that. And it looks like the wind hung the ball up a little bit as well, but these are plays that if they're made, it gives your offense that much more confidence, and you have more opportunity. It's something that the Jacksonville Jaguars haven't had happen to them this season yet.
Brian Barker earlier an 83-yard punt. This one considerably shorter, and then takes a sideways bounce.
Well, he's kicking into the wind now.
Such as it is. 36-yard boot. This concludes the 5th week of the NFL season. Next week on Sunday Night Football on ESPN from the desert, the Washington Redskins, who were off yesterday, take on the Arizona Cardinals, who beat the Giants, and we are back here at the Meadowlands next Monday night. We're just going to sleep here until then. It's the Dallas Cowboys against the New York Giants on Monday Night Football next week.
Well, you talk about a team that knows how to play offense. The Washington Redskins, they've got it going on.
And this is Curtis Martin breaking one into Jaguar territory and taking it all the way to the 33-yard line behind a great block to spring him by Richie Anderson.
Now it was Richie Anderson and also left guard Kerry Jenkins cutting down on the outside and giving Martin the opportunity to get up through the hole. Watch. There's Richie Anderson right there, and there's Jenkins right there at the point of attack. And now I even think you could have run through that hole.
For maybe 23 yards. He ran for 24. 24-yard pickup. That's Curtis's longest run of the season. At the 33-yard line with 10 minutes to go in the half, they take it to Martin. Meyer buying time, flushed out, and then just has to throw it away. They sent Johnson deep down to the 10-yard line, but double covered as he almost always is.
Well, you know, Johnson was on the sideline after the last series, and he was over there pleading his case, saying, I was open, and sure enough, you call the same play, and you're not open this time. You can see him smiling because he knows exactly what happened. Carnell Lake saw him running down the middle and just doubled him along with Beasley. That's why I never listened to receivers when they came to the huddle. You know, hey, I was open on the last play. Okay, fine, get open on the next play. Don't worry about the last play now. Let's start talking about the next play. Oh, yeah. I mean, you have to be a politician out there just keeping everybody happy.
2nd down and 10 at the 33-yard line. A little toss to Martin. And that's a great play by Carnell Lake to fend off the blocker, get into the backfield. So here's a guy on deep coverage on the preceding play, and now he's in the offensive backfield. And Dom Capers, of course, when he was at Pittsburgh, coached Carnell Lake there as the defensive coordinator.
And really one of the guys that was highly sought after by Tom Coughlin in free agency. But really what happened there is that if Curtis Martin would have came up inside and got in behind Eric Green and not ran outside, Carnell Lake would not have been able to make the play. So a lot of times the running back has to set up the block as well as trying to get away from somebody.
Which he couldn't right there. It's 3rd down and 13, and Meyer guns it, and it's pipped and intercepted. It's picked off by Blaine McElmurray off the hands of Johnson, and McElmurray takes it back to midfield. So Meyer threw a bullet through the hands of Keyshawn Johnson, who couldn't hold on to it, and McElmurray with a big pick. That's the first of Blaine's career.
You know, interesting, Al, there were actually 2 guys crossing. Keyshawn was the top crosser, and it looked as me that right here, number 88, Quinn Early, gets his hands on it. I believe that Rick was actually trying to throw the ball to Keyshawn. And that Quinn Early actually got in the way.
A little early.
Yeah.
Is what it amounts to as the Jaguars take over at the 46-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. And this play is dead before it's in session.
Usually when they stop it like this, it's a legal motion.
Mike Carey, the referee.
Yes.
It's been a penalty-free game tonight.
Before the snap, false start on the offense, number 62. 5 yards. Repeat first down.
That's the
9:06 on the game clock.
The first penalty of the game coming more than 20 minutes into the contest.
Now, the only reason I would say that it looked to me like Rick Meyer was trying to hit Johnson across the back on the second is because of the speed and the velocity on the football. And you can see right there Keyshawn saying, that ball was to me, that ball was to me.
First and 15 now from the 41-yard line. Stewart, the ultimate definition of workhorse tonight, tackled by Dwayne Gordon. Stewart has already carried the ball 14 times. He had carried 73 times over the preceding 3 games, or more than 24 times per contest.
You know, and as this game goes along, and as inept as the Jet offense has been, I think Tom Coughlin's going to reel it in a little bit. I don't necessarily know that he's going to open it up either, because he knows now that the Jet offense hasn't shown any life whatsoever.
Second down and 13 from the 44-yard line. Tavian Banks sets up now wide to the right. And Brunell is going deep down the left sideline, and adjusting is McCardell to make the catch. Takes it away from Aaron Glenn. Glenn, one of the very best, but McCardell was able to get position on a slightly underthrown ball and pick up 33.
The hardest of all balls for defensive backs to defend against, because they don't see where the ball is. And these are the types of plays that Jimmy Smith and Keenan McCardell are able to make for you. They haven't had many opportunities in the last few weeks, but if they can continue to do something like this, all of a sudden you'll see a different offensive mentality.
From the 23-yard line.
You can see there's a lot of auditing going on, changing of plays out there.
They give it to Stewart. Out of the eye, and he gets it to the 20-yard line, where he's tackled by James Farrier. Bill Belichick, his defensive unit, has to rise up here, because the way the Jets look, at least at this point offensively, it's not the type of performance that's going to lend to a lot of optimism if you go down by 14. Second down and 7 from the 20-yard line. Stewart this time taken down in the backfield. Mo Lewis with a big play.
Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about right now, is that these are two kind of conservative plays right in a row. And you wonder what Tom Coughlin, the offensive coordinator, is thinking about. And Mo Lewis certainly has come into his own the last few years. And you can see he's 6'3", 260 pounds, and he is really, he's built better than I remembered, because when I was here, he was a little bit heavier than that. He was about 270. But speed and quickness is his game.
Third and 11 now. Brunell out of the shotgun. And Mark throws over the middle and hits Kyle Brady, the ex-Jet, but Brady gets gang tackled before he can pick up the first down. Needed 11, got about 9, and down he goes at the 15, the one-time #1 draft choice of the Jets.
I don't know if it was an unfortunate experience or I don't know what it was, but when I played with Kyle Brady, he was a rookie, and he didn't look like this.
What, his first touchdown pass from you?
Yeah, well, that was on a busted play. I think he went the wrong way, but his receiving skills have gotten a lot better, and you got to wonder if they're, if the Jets really like it. You can see almost every Jet defender got in on the tackle. He's a big man, and it takes about 10 guys to take him down.
It was the Brady bunch at the end of the play.
You're just whipping them out
just
tonight.
Like that,
right
baby.
there.
I tell you, it's Shecky Green in disguise. Shelby Berman.
I was talking to Kyle before the game, and he was telling me how happy he is in Jacksonville, how much he likes playing for Tom Coughlin. He says that Parcells and Coughlin are similar in a lot of ways. Huh? Now, of course they're going to be similar, because Coughlin, learned from Bill.
Exactly.
And really, the Jets wanted to keep Kyle Brady. They made him what he felt was a fair offer, and Bill Parcells felt was a fair offer. They actually had an offer on the table to Eric Green. They wanted both Eric Green and Kyle Brady to be on the roster. But then when the Jacksonville Jaguars came in with that offer that just blew everybody away, Kyle had no choice but to go down to Jacksonville.
Now a 32-yard field goal attempt. Mike Hollis, at the moment, has the highest career field goal percentage of any kicker in the history of the NFL. 84.2%. 32-yard attempt. Barker to hold it. It's a very high snap, but Barker gets it down. And the kick is good. So Barker has an 83-yard punt, and he's able to save that. I mean, that's like Gretzky setting up a goal right there. Back at the Meadowlands, Al Michaels with Boomer Esiason and Leslie Visser. The Jaguars lead the Jets 10-0, capitalizing after the interception. And this is Steve Lindsay.
No touchback this time.
No, sir. Taken at the 7-yard line by Dwight Stone. And the longtime Steeler and Panther brings it back out close to midfield. Exactly what the Jets need at this point. Something to spur them. Run out by Damon Shelton. 5:27 to the half. Let's check in again with Leslie.
Al, back in 1995, these teams met for the first time, and the Jet quarterback that day had a pretty spectacular day. Boomer passed for 3 touchdowns, one of them a 20-yarder to, as Boomer mentioned, rookie Kyle Brady. Well, Kyle told me that Boomer was very special and very important to him that year. The team was headed for a 3-13 season, but Boomer wrote a note to every receiver challenging him what he wanted to do for the rest of the year. Kyle said it was a great lesson in never quitting, Al.
Oh. First down from the 50-yard line.
You better watch out, Al, if I start writing notes to you.
I'm checking that mail, baby. I'm checking that mailbox. This is Dedrick Ward making the catch. I didn't know you were...
Oh, listen, when you're going through a 3-13 season, you will try anything. Anything to motivate guys, especially rookies that aren't used to playing in 16 games.
You motivated them so well when you left here, they went 1-15.
Well, yeah. What a legacy I left, I guess. Well, he's really grown up into being a fine, expensive football player.
That is a redundancy these days, a fine, expensive football player. Second down and 5. Meyer throws, and open is Johnson. And Keyshawn gets taken down at the 30-yard line. That's the first down. He's tackled there by their #1 draft choice, Fernando Bryant.
I was talking to Fernando Bryant before the game. First of all, he wanted me to say happy birthday to his mom. He's sorry he didn't call her today. It's her birthday today, so happy birthday, Mom.
What are they paying him?
And, well, I don't know. He doesn't have an AT&T card or something. I don't know. But right there, he's going up against one of the best wide receivers in football. If they can get that matchup and keep that matchup in their game plan, that's the place you have to go. Work on the young kid.
First and 10 from the 30-yard line. Toss back to Martin. And Curtis bangs his way inside the 25 to the 24-yard line. By the way, the LH on the Jets jerseys, the initials of Leon Hess, who had owned the team, of course, for years and years, a great man who passed away last winter.
Absolutely one of the best owners in all of football. I had the opportunity to be here for 3 years, and I couldn't say a bad word about him. He was there for anything you needed, anything that your family needed. He was there for you. Always showed up on Thanksgiving and gave a speech, and that 3-13 year, Al, he gave a speech of a lifetime. He won that week.
Second and 6, and this is Martin. The Jets right now will not be owned by the Hess heirs. Morgan Stanley has been, Goldman Sachs.
Right.
Goldman Sachs. I'm dealing with too many brokerages here. Goldman Sachs is the investment banker, and they have sent out a number of prospectuses. It's our understanding that 26 prospectuses, assuming that is the plural of prospectus, are in circulation right now. But it's a ways away from being determined who will own the franchise.
And you see that Hess sign there. Mr. Hess owns an oil company, the Hess family, and that's where most of the money has come from.
And they're out of Hess.
Right.
As Bernie Parmalee on third down takes it to the 18-yard line behind the blocking of Kerry Jenkins up front. First down, New York.
And what Bill Parcells has done here, Al, is really quite remarkable. He's turned it around in such a short period of time. Talked to him before the game, and he was telling me that what has happened to him this year in terms of injuries has never happened to him. Losing your starting quarterback, your best wide receiver on third down, Your nose tackle, one of your best cornerbacks. There's Vinny right there.
Exhibit A. Right there, 19-yard line, first down. And Meyer sets up a screen to the left side. And some nifty running by Martin takes it to the 15-yard line.
And that
picking and threading his way.
Excuse me, Alan. That time, Martin gave his guard, number 71, Kerry Jenkins, an opportunity to make a block by setting the block up. And you talk about a guy that is so unassuming. It's Curtis Martin, one of the nicest guys in the NFL.
He drives here for the New York Jets, down by 10 as we come to the 2-minute warning. Our aerial camera tonight provided by Southwest Airlines, Giants Stadium, home of the Giants and the Jets. And next week, Monday Night Football right back here. And baseball is fairly prominent in New York these days, as you can well imagine, with the Yankees and the Mets going into postseason play.
And interestingly enough, the Jets and Giants play this year.
Meeting head-on later in the season. 2nd down and 6 now, following the 2-minute warning. From the 15-yard line is Meyer. Throws, and it is incomplete. And the intended receiver was Richie Anderson. That's Bryce Pop there. Bryce not even turning around. Sometimes that will precipitate a flag, but not here.
You know, this is the matchup you want if you're the New York Jets. Richie Anderson actually gets out and is open, and Rick Meyer doesn't throw the ball quick enough. Again, it's all about being comfortable back there as a quarterback and knowing your players. And I'd ask Rick, do you know your guys on your team? I know the guys that are important. You see Keyshawn Johnson's open running down the middle too, but he had Richie Anderson. He just underthrew the ball.
3rd down and 6. Meyer chased by Lake, throws, and that's incomplete at the 9-yard line, intended for Dedrick Ward. Carnell Lake just all over the joint tonight.
Well, he's been all over the joint his entire career, playing cornerback as well as strong safety. And really, when you look at this defense and where it has come from, or where it's at now from where it was, certainly he's a big reason for that. I mean, he kind of just solidified that whole secondary, relaxed everybody. He knows Don Capers' system, and he's basically, especially Donovan Darius, their other safety, has really helped him.
33-yard field goal attempt by John Hall to try to get the Jets on the scoreboard. And Hall's kick, I think it would be Vic Damone.
Come on, who do you think it is?
I don't know.
Think of my time. Don't think of your time.
Your time. Okay, Richie Havens.
How about Keith Richard?
Keith Richard?
Okay. 2 Keith Richards.
A pair of. You think that's it?
Right.
You think that's who it is?
I don't know. How about Johnny Cash?
Tune in tomorrow night.
Let's find out. I was just trying to go by the outfit.
It's all a mystery, ladies and gentlemen.
Nobody told us anything.
That's right. What else is new?
Actually, getting information around here is not that easy. Not regarding the football.
Absolutely not. This is John Hall descended skyward for the Jets. Taken into the 2-yard line by Reggie Barlow. And Reggie brings it up to the 23. Halftime approaching. What's coming up? As we have
You're going to have holding right now on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Going to take them back.
And that is only the 2nd penalty of the night. The Jets have not been flagged in the first half.
Al, this situation right now.
Holding on the return, team number 52. 10-yard penalty, first down.
Grant Boyer.
This situation right now, Al, is really going to tell the tale about how Tom Coughlin feels about his offense.
Monday Night Football is brought to you by Chrysler, giving you back the romance of driving. Bud Light, for the great taste that won't fill you up and never lets you down. Make it a Bud Light. And 1-800-COLLECT, the easy way to save.
I talk about it. It's a tight game. It's 10-3. It's a minute 38 to go. You have one of the brighter quarterbacks in all of football. Let's find out what you think here on your offense. Let's see if you can give them an opportunity to make some plays right here.
2 timeouts for Jacksonville. First down from the 10-yard line. Brunell to go to the air. Hits Banks. Octavian Banks, the 3rd down back, shoved out of bounds by Marcus Coleman at about the 19-yard line.
Good solid way to start. A screen pass is easy. It's good against, especially against the defense that likes to rush and get off the ball. And right now, the Jet defenders are very active up front. They're thinking sack. They're thinking turnovers. They're recognizing that their offense is not giving them an opportunity. So they're going to be overzealous, and they're going to get out of their rush lanes.
Second down and 2 from the 18-yard line. Keep it on the ground. This is Banks. And Tavian Banks will pick up the first down and save a timeout by getting out of bounds up at the 28-yard line.
Draws and screens are going to be able to, you're going to be able to take advantage of that aggressive nature of the front four of the New York Jets. And I like the way Tom Coughlin is managing this right now. Let's see if he keeps it. He should be keeping it up right here.
Brunell tonight has thrown for 98 yards in the half, more than he threw for the entire game in Pittsburgh last week, a total of 85 yards, but still they won. First down from the 28-yard line. Look at this formation.
Shifting and moving in motion, trying to confuse the defense.
Barlow is in motion. Brunell with a deep drop.
Throw away.
Buying time, and that's exactly what he does into the Jets bench. Second and 10.
I think when quarterbacks are pressing, you could see that in some of the decisions that they make. They try to make the big play all the time. And quarterbacks who are comfortable with themselves, secure in their pocket, secure in the notion that they can get it back, are the ones that are going to throw the ball out of bounds. They're not going to take sacks, and they're not going to force it. And thus far, that's the way that Brunell has been playing tonight.
The guy he hasn't been able to get the ball to is his favorite receiver over the past 3 years, Jimmy Smith, who splits wide left here. Smith caught only one ball tonight for 4 yards. Second and 10 from the 27. Blitz from the corner. Brunell forced to throw deep, looking for Smith, and has to throw it out of bounds, covered by Coleman because of the corner blitz that time by Ray Mickens.
If he would have had a chance to set his feet and throw it, he would have had Smith. The Smith is winning down the sideline, but again, you could see that Mark Brunell is not used to playing in this stadium, especially on the left sideline. You take a look right here, Smith going at, he actually turns Marcus Coleman all the way around, but because of the blitz, Mark Brunell had to deliver the ball quicker than he would have liked.
Third down and 10 from the 28-yard line. They double team Cox. Brunell then dumps it off to Tavian Banks. Slip move there, but not enough for the first down. Lewis just did get enough of him to keep him from getting the first down up at the 38-yard line. And the New York Jets now take a timeout because they're going to get the ball after the punt with a minute to play in the first half. 60 seconds left in the half.
Aggressive timeout, Al.
And a smart one. Officially 1:01 to play in the half. Chris Berman's top 10, and we will talk to Dick Vermeil at the half, the coach of the only undefeated team in the National Football League, the St. Louis Rams.
What a great timeout by Bill Parcells and the Jets right here, knowing that they're going to have to kick into the wind.
And this is Barker's kick, which he angles toward the far sideline, and it's out of bounds at the 23-yard line. So the Jets, knowing exactly what they were going to do had they stopped the Jaguars short on an inbounds play, call an immediate timeout. They still have 2 left. And with 54 seconds to go, Meyer will at least try to get them into field goal range.
You know, and I think that's the way you have to play. They're playing field position. You have the wind to your back right now. You can get, Hall's got a good leg. So, I mean, if you can get him down, you know, maybe another 30, 40 yards here, you can get some points in this kind of game right now with the way things are going. Anything.
Bill Parcells, there he is, years reaching the playoffs since he left the Giants, and in each case, his team started 0-2. Can he do it again? This team started 0-3. From the 23, Meyer throws, and that is knocked down and nearly picked off by Tony Brackens, who can't believe he didn't get the interception. Oh. Brackens 2.5 sacks last week.
Safeties as well. This kid is some kind of athlete. The knock on Tony Brackens is why doesn't he do it every play? But you can see right here, a 3-step drop. Brackens reads the drop. You know, he's actually going up there to try to catch the football. He's not trying to knock it down. Most defenders try to just knock it down. He's actually trying to catch it.
Second down and 10. Meyer sets up the screen. It's underneath to Parmalee. And the longtime ex-Dolphin with a flag coming in at the end of the play is tackled at the 36-yard line. Dom Capers' defense digging in here.
And you're going to have holding against the New York Jets.
And that is their first penalty of the game at a most inopportune time, and it's the rookie Randy Thomas from Mississippi State.
Oh, my goodness.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Second down.
We're going to call it actually on Kerry Jenkins. The other guard. And it comes with 41 seconds remaining in the opening half.
You know, they've had some good plays, and it looks like they're just about ready to get moving, and then all of a sudden a mistake, a sack, a bad pass, and you can see right here the penalties.
They've had a lot, but not tonight. But this one coming at a particular point in time when the Jets could afford one. Second down and 12 now. Throwing over the middle, and it's knocked down up at the 45-yard line by Aaron Beasley. Beasley trailing the intended receiver. Quinn Early.
You know, in this stadium out playing here, there's a collective sigh that goes on from the 70+ thousand people that are here when a bad play happens or things aren't working well, and you can just feel it as a player when you play in here, whether you're a Giant or whether you're a Jet. It's hard to explain that to you, but you can just feel like the wind coming out of everybody in here.
The Jets, well, the fans have done a lot of sighing here through the years. The Jets have had only 9 winning seasons in 39 years in the AFL and the NFL, and this is Parmalee on 3rd and long, taking it up to the 25-yard line. So Parcells will button it up, and now Jacksonville takes a timeout.
And now you can hear the boos coming down as well. I mean, these are intelligent football fans. They exactly know what's going on.
Well, the Jets have called an aggressive timeout. Now the Jaguars call a re-aggressive timeout here as they will get the ball back. And when you talk about the New York Jets, you go back to the opening game in the history of Monday Night Football, 1970.
Joe to throw. He's going deep into the corner for Sauer. He's got it.
There you go.
1970. Joe Namath's number, of course, has been retired. Led the team to that incredible win in Super Bowl III, transforming the face of professional football. As Tom Tupa pulls a Barker, sending one down to the 15-yard line. And this is Barlow bringing it back to the 26-yard line. So Barker earlier, an 83-yard kick, thanks to a pretty good bounce. This one 60 yards in the air by the punter / quarterback Tupa.
Well, there it is.
That's how you're getting home tonight, Boomer.
There it is, right there in the bus.
I'll be joining. Oh,
there's where our buddy Chris is, right?
Okay.
Have you been in that? I don't know. Have you been in that place?
Not yet.
No, it's unbelievable. You're going tonight, right? Afterwards, I'll take you over there, Al.
What's curfew?
For a couple pops. Come on, you want to go? Me and you, Al, hitting New York City tonight, big time.
Davey, are you picking up the tab? What I'm going to tell Linda?
You can get me into any restaurant and bar in this city. I just say, here's Al Michaels, babe, we're in. We're not waiting on any lines, nothing.
1st and 10. Wait till Pittsburgh. Maybe I'll take you out there. Cheaper. This is Davian Banks. Taking it up to the 37-yard line, and a flag comes in.
And now you'll have holding this time on the Jaguars. What was really relatively penalty-free has turned into really a nightmare for both of these coaches.
Holding. Offense number 71. 10-yard penalty. Repeat, first down.
Tony Baselli.
You really can't yell at Tony, can you?
I can. Maybe you can. This is Ray Mickens, who was shaken up on the Jets sideline.
And we talked about some of the injuries. They're also missing Otis Smith. And the interesting thing about Otis Smith is that he was one of their starting cornerbacks who broke a collarbone and actually came back and played last week against the Denver Broncos. And on the first play from scrimmage, re-injured the collarbone again. And now is on IR and is lost for the season. It's been a rough year for the New York Jets.
And the Jaguars will just run out the clock. So Coughlin content to sit on a 7-point advantage.
Whoever again? You're going to put your offense in a hole, and this is going to be the period right now for the Jets.
Holding number 52 of the return team. 10 yards, first down.
Bryant Boyer with the hold. Let's check in with Leslie Vischer. Leslie.
Al, Bill Parcells was looking for any optimism. He said this isn't all Rick Meyer's fault, and he would not consider changing quarterbacks. Tom Coughlin is happy as expected. He said we need more play action in the second half. But the best exchange was going up the tunnel. Brian Cox, no surprise, and Tony Boselli. Brian Cox was yelling, "You're no Anthony Munoz," and Boselli returned, "Yeah, well, Cox, you got one move and you can't even do that." Fighting words, Al.
Leave it to Brian, no matter what uniform he's in. First down from the 13-yard line, and this is Jimmy Smith making only his second catch of the night. That's good enough for a first down. Gain of 12.
And what I like about Mark Brunell on that particular play, one of the more difficult blitzes to really take a look at is when they bring a corner blitz and you have to throw and make a play off of that. But here's Boselli and Cox right off the bat. Well, I don't know. I think Boselli won that one. What do you think, Hal?
I thought he looked like Anthony Munoz on that one.
No, hey, Hal, there's no
Well,
Anthony
wait a
Munoz.
second. But
there's nobody's Anthony Munoz.
That's the kind of job that Anthony would do, right? He'd stop the guy in his tracks.
He does it and he did it every time.
First down from the 24-yard line as Stewart puts his head down and pulls his way up to the 29. He's tackled there by Lyle. And Stewart's already carried the ball tonight 17 times. It's a wonderful life for James. Halftime stats. Coming up.
Are there any offensive stats
coming up, coming at you.
You can take a look at the New York Jets offensive stats. 62 passing yards, 5 first downs. Jacksonville not much better, but at least they actually moved the ball a little bit.
Second down and 6 from the 28-yard line. And Brunell has to disgustedly take a timeout. Play clock running down. Didn't like the alignment. Timeout Jacksonville. From the 28-yard line for the Jaguars, who lead by 7. Brunell with Cox doing a cartwheel, throws, and it is pulled in at the 39-yard line by McCardell. One official looks at the other for a little bit of help. And what are they going to rule? No. No completion.
What a nice block by James Stewart on Brian Cox. And I think Brian Cox kind of took Mark Brunell out of his concentration a little bit and forced a bad throw, because take a look at Stewart right here going low on Cox. Watch. Bang, and hits him. And Cox, to his credit, gets up and gets in the face of Brunell and forces a bad throw.
3rd and 6 now at the 28. Crowd in full throat at the Meadowlands. 4-man rush. Brunell going deep for Barlow, and Barlow holds it in at the 40-yard line. First down, Jacksonville. Covered by Coleman. Barlow is their punt returner and their kickoff returner, and sometimes wideout. 31 yards to the consternation of Parcells.
One of the things that Tom Coughlin was saying to us is that he felt like Mark Brunell is one of the better deep throwers. And I said, why don't you throw it more? And he says, well, some of the decisions, but that was a good decision and certainly was right on the money.
Only Barlow's 4th catch of the season. Stewart now to the outside and turns it back. And Stewart picks up 14 to the 27-yard line, tackled by Mo Lewis. It's kind of scary when you think about a guy like James Stewart, who can run as well as he's run, and to think he is clearly their second-team running back right now behind Fred Taylor. 20-plus over the last 3 weeks. Again, Taylor with that hamstring, they might keep him out next week. If they do, they then have a bye week, and they can get him completely healthy for the Bengals on Halloween. 1st and 10 from the 28-yard line. The fake to Stewart. That doesn't fool Lewis, and the sack back at the 47. Lewis first, Cox second, go blowing through for a huge sack. Huge in terms of yardage lost.
Give a lot of credit to Belichick right here, the defensive coordinator of the Jets, for calling a blitz on first down. I'm wondering if he called it because he felt like Tom Coughlin was going to try to run the ball like he did earlier in the game.
That's an 18-yard sack.
But you could see the speed and strength of Mo Lewis here, 263 pounds, and staying with Mark Brunell is a very quick runner for a quarterback.
2nd and 28 now from the 45-yard line. Good protection. Brady breaks one tackle and then takes the ball to the 35-yard line. Broke out of the grasp of Roman Pfeiffer, and they are still 17 yards shy of the first after an 11-yard gain.
No, that's okay, but when you are struggling and your passing game is not going that well, you want to try to force things downfield. That time, Mark Brunell just stayed within his progressions, took what the defense gave him, and gave him a chance at least to make a first down. If you don't make a first down, at least you're in field goal range if you can complete a medium-range pass here.
Third down, make it 19. They send McCardle and Smith both wide to the left. And Brunell coming back the other way against the grain. Hits Grady, who's able to hang on to the bullet and is tackled at the 25. Well shy of the first, but setting up about a 43-yard field goal attempt.
But again, it's Mark Brunell being smart with the football. He's being careful. He didn't try to force the ball downfield. And he gave his team a chance at least to get some points on the board after that just awful sack. But you can see right here, the Jets are only rushing 4 guys, so he's able to move around. Don't force it downfield. He could have forced it downfield to number 84, Reggie Barlow, but decided to take Kyle Brady and settle for the field goal attempt.
43-yard attempt. Barker will put it down. Another high snap. Barker gets it down again, and Hollis's kick is good. And that's 2 assists tonight for Brian Barker. And what a night he has had, both as a punter and as a holder. Again, Quentin Newyear with a snap, a high snap, but he got it down, and the Jags are up by 10.
There's this place in the neighborhood where they have these outrageous you pick 2 platters, and basically you pick 2 out of 3 entrees. It's 2 on 1 plate. You get the Cajun steak with all those sizzling spices, or a pile of succulent roasted garlic shrimp, or barbecue chicken with that sauce that sticks to your lips and your mind like some really interesting dream. It was too good to end, but it will, just like the you pick 2 platters. 2 entrees, 1 plate, only at Applebee's.
It's like we've always been there for you. We were there when you found your first love, and when your first love found you. We helped you get settled into your first real place, then into your wife's idea of a real place. And now that you have a reason, make that reasons to get some life insurance. There's no one better to ask than the State Farm agent you've always trusted to care for your car, your home, and you. State Farm is there for you because State Farm is there for life.
Tacoma 4x4. There's no bigger rush.
This telecast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Steve Lindsay kicking off and sends this one down to the 5-yard line. This is Robert Farmer to run the ball back out past the 30, and a little jet spark there as he takes it to the 35-yard line. Tackled by Dave Thomas.
Interesting thing, Al, on the last series for the Jacksonville Jaguars, on 2nd and 3rd down, Mark Brunell made good decisions, didn't force the ball, will allow Tom Coughlin, the offensive coordinator, now to maybe loosen up a little bit of his play calling, knowing that his quarterback is going to be safe. Not great numbers for Rick Meyer, and probably even more difficult or poor was their 3rd down conversion. They're only 1 for 8 in the first half on 3rd down.
You don't win many games with a 37 quarterback rating. Meyer will take off and slides to a halt up at the 37-yard line.
You know, remember, Rick Meyer's only been here literally for 6 weeks. He thinks he's the backup quarterback in Green Bay. He learns that offense, and he comes here, and Charlie Weiss's offense is totally different in terms of terminology and language and personnel groupings, and there is Charlie. So he still is, even though he might not be calling the plays, he is the architect of this offense. He is certainly suggesting plays that need to be run.
2nd down and 8 from the 37-yard line. Martin, nice tackle in the backfield. Gary Walker, unsung in the middle. Boomer talked about the additions they made to this team. 5th-year guy out of Auburn. All of the personnel switches they had to make up front. And, of course, bringing in Dom Capers really solidified everything. Capers was brought in when Dick Duran got the head job in Chicago.
You know, and when you bring guys from teams within your division, you see these guys twice a year, so you know what they bring to the table. You know that if they played good against you, hey, you know, let's get them off that other team and pay them some money and get them on my team. Smart strategy for the Jacksonville Jaguars.
3rd down and 10. Just a 3-man rush this time. Smingy chasing Meyer, and that's enough to knock him down. That's great coverage, obviously, by the Jacksonville secondary. Nobody open.
No, there was nobody open. I'm sitting up here watching, trying to figure out who Rick Meyer should throw the football to, and there's nobody open downfield. I mean, he has no choice. And you can see right there, he actually tried to make something happen, but when he's looking downfield, he does not want to throw an interception. You heard Parcells say to Leslie Visser on the opening show, Keyshawn thinks he's open. He's not. There's a safety above him. He's not just playing one-on-one over here.
Tom Tupa to punt.
You heard Parcells say, don't turn the ball over.
Great punt, 54 yards to Barlow at the 16-yard line. And Barlow brings it back to the 23. 8:07 remaining in the 3rd quarter in the Meadowlands, where the Jaguars lead the Jets. 4 great college football regional games this Saturday. The Michigan State Spartans coming off that big win against Michigan, taking on Purdue. Highlighting the action, Colorado, Texas Tech, Virginia against North Carolina State, or Cal against UCLA. Regional action this Saturday right here on ABC. Jaguars now from the 23-yard line with Brunell to throw on 1st down, and underneath hitting Smith for a short gain. Pickup of 5, tackled there by Marvin Jones at the 30-yard line.
Seems like I say this every week. I probably do, that quarterbacks would love to throw on 1st down. And your completion percentage goes up. The defense is not sure whether you're going to run or you're going to throw it. And when this kind of evolves into their offense, where Mark Brunell could be more of a factor on 1st down, especially when he drops back, the opportunities that he will have as the season goes on will get him to the numbers that he's used to.
Now what does he do on 2nd down and 4? He gives the ball to James Stewart. Stewart gets bunched up at the line of scrimmage, met first by Roman Pfeiffer. Victor Green coming up for support, setting up a 3rd down and 3 after Stewart's 19th carry of the game.
I don't know what has happened to offense in the New York area, but whatever it is, the defense for not only the New York Jets, but the Giants deserve double pay. I mean, these defenses are holding these offenses and these football teams into this game. And you can see the Jet defense hasn't given up. They're still flying to the football, making plays.
3rd down, short 4 from the 30-yard line. Brunell, with room to roam, picks up the 1st down and slides to a stop up at the 39-yard line.
Tough when you play man coverage in the secondary. There's nobody to line up to cover the quarterback, and you're relying on your 4-down linemen to make the quarterback make either a quick decision or to keep him in the pocket. And that time Mark was able to escape the pocket. And you could see how good he is with his legs, and he's smart. He's not panicking. He's stepping up. He's looking forward. He decides to put the ball away, and he gets down and doesn't take a flush hit.
Brunell in many ways reminds you a little bit of Steve Young, left-handed, wears number 8, mobile, as he proved on that play, as Tavian Banks gets taken down to the 40. By the way, the story on Young is you look at Wayne Weaver, the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars, and they have been a model expansion franchise, going to the playoffs 3 times in their first 4 years and probably headed for 4 out of 5. But Steve Young not likely, according to what we know right now, to be cleared to play for San Francisco this weekend, still suffering the after effects of that concussion sustained in the Monday night game in Tempe 2 weeks ago. second down and 7 from the 40. And that is caught by Brady. And Brady fights his way close to a first, but a yard shy. On a happier note in terms of injuries, Boomer, Michael Irvin, and that looked terrible yesterday when it took place. But pleased to be able to tell you today, if you've not already heard it, that he was released from the hospital and walked to the car to take him to the airport to get back to Dallas.
You know, it seems like every week, Al, when these games start, you have to hold your breath and you have to wonder who's next. I mean, if you are a star in this league, your number might be up next week.
Michael had swelling in the neck area, stiffness, and soreness in the spine will be examined on Wednesday. And this is a pickup by Howard close to a first down up to the 48-yard line. The situation in Philadelphia yesterday in the Dallas-Philadelphia game as Damon Jones is down and clutching his knee was this. Michael Irvin hitting his head against the green concrete at Veterans Stadium.
And you heard Wayne Corbett say it earlier, or at least he told Leslie, that the worst field in football are right here, the Vet in Philadelphia, and Synergy Field out in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Which at least is finished after this year as they take a look at the Jones knee. But anyway, Irvin is not going to play next week, and the timetable is uncertain, but hopefully not. That's Damon Jones, who had his knee contorted on this play.
Right, and you can see right here, it looks like Rick Lyle and Tilsky, the offensive guard, roll right into Damon Jones. Keep your legs moving and get out of the way.
He's the backup tight end, and on first down, this is Tavian Banks taking it into New York territory and out of bounds at the 43, about a yard shy of the first.
Al, it's not explosive. I mean, he's thrown a few balls down the field, but what he's doing tonight is efficient. He's throwing the ball on time. He's accurate with his short passes. And he's in command of the football game from an offensive standpoint, as all quarterbacks should try to be in each and every game. And he's making good, solid, sound decisions up to this point.
Second down and 1, and this is Stewart, and Stewart busts through the left side to the 35, and a first down for James Stewart, who has now carried the ball 20 times.
Interesting, right where the Jet logo is in the middle of the field, there's a carpet that's having big seasons.
And it's a league that's upside down as well, because among the teams on their schedule are the Denver Broncos.
Right, and also the NFC West with Atlanta.
Well, this is an 8-minute break, and play resumes after they fix the carpet. Brunel on first down throws, and into traffic. It is incomplete. It is broken up by Marvin Jones. It'll be second down 10. First matchup between these teams, 1995. Take a look at number 7, Boomer Esiason. Notice the way he throws against the green, and then he does it again, rolling to his right. Touchdown. And then again, it was Esiason all the way to the end zone for yet a third touchdown. And Boomer was gone the next year.
That's right. Out to Arizona. Sent out the pass.
Here is Stewart taking the ball to the 32-yard line. Gain of 3. Boomer's numbers on the day.
You know what? I really enjoyed playing here, Al. This is my hometown, and really for the first 2 years in '93 and '94, we had good teams. We lost to the Miami Dolphins on a fake spike by Dan Marino, and then everything basically fell apart in '95. And 3 coaches in 3 years, but I really did enjoy playing here.
Third down and 7. Parcells, of course, came in '97. Bill in the third year of his 6-year deal as Brunel throws, and that is broken up, and that's exactly what the Jets needed here. Down by 10 to break up the play, avoid a long Jacksonville drive, and make them settle for what would be a long field goal attempt.
And you know what broke up the momentum? Was Zippergate.
He did.
It really did. It took whatever momentum Jacksonville had going to that point. It just stopped the whole game. You see right here, Bill Belichick's defense does a lot of zone blitzing. They bring guys up, they drop them back, and Mark is unable to see number 56, Roman Pfeiffer.
And Coughlin has elected, this is an interesting call here. He could have opted for a 50-yard field goal attempt, but he'd rather pin the Jets deep with Barker, who is very adept at pinning teams deep, as is the case. And if weren't for the fact that Barlow should have downed it initially, they would have pinned him inside the 5-yard line.
He's got to make this play. This is exactly what Jacksonville did last week to the Pittsburgh Steelers. And Tom Coughlin said, hey, if I don't sense another team's offense can beat me, I'm going to play field position.
Barlow should have just caught it, is what it amounted to at that point.
As he should have made it like he was the punt returner.
Exactly, which he is.
Right, I know.
And Larry Pasquale upset about it. Barker is upset about it as well, and I don't blame him.
And he could be the
16, 17 yards.
He could be the MVP of Jacksonville tonight, the way he's playing.
But Coughlin, instead of opting for the field goal, knowing that his team has dominated the Jets on this side of the ball, has then start from the 20-yard line as Meyer gets bumped by his own guy and then sacked by Brackens.
No, I'm sitting here and I'm watching this. I don't really know who he can throw it to, Al. He's got to make quick decisions. It looked like he was trying to hit Keyshawn Johnson on a quick post up the field, but he doesn't look confident to me to deliver that type of throw right now.
Brackens now has 5 sacks in the Jaguars' 5 games this year.
I can't reiterate enough how difficult it has to be for him to be in this situation to try to deliver the ball confidently down the field.
Second down and 8. Meyer on an out and overthrows Johnson. Johnson was blanketed by Aaron Beasley. Recognize that sound?
Yeah, I recognize the sound. There's no question about it. And he's locked in on Johnson when he had Richie Anderson open over the middle. And I think this is what happens. You have a frustrated player in Keyshawn who wants the football. He says he can get open. Just throw the ball near me. If he throws it down a little lower, then certainly he can make the play for it. But right now, he's out of sync. This offense has been out of sync since the game started. And they need a huge play somewhere along the line here.
Third down and 18, and Johnson's the guy that provided, but he's doubled on every play and sometimes tripled. And Meyer looks toward Keyshawn and then throws it out of bounds. That's on single coverage, but good enough by Fernando Bryant.
But Keyshawn can't. He can't be doing stuff like this, yelling back at his quarterback. And look, there's really who else are you going to turn to? This is what you have to do. And when you think about it, you wonder what Bill was thinking about. He had his backup quarterback on the roster in Glenn Foley, and he decided to trade him in what many people think was, about money and salary cap issues as opposed to personality conflict. And I think it was more of a personality conflict than it was a salary cap issue.
Well, you would know.
And really, he rolled the dice. He tried to get Eric Zier. He tried to get Rodney Peete. These are the things that he told us about last night. Was unable to get those two guys. Went into preseason.
Ball start on the offense, number 94, 5 yards, 4th down.
He went into preseason with Vinny Testaverde, Scott Zolak, and Ray Lucas, and Tupa as their quarterback quartet, if you will. But really, as the preseason progressed, he didn't like what he was getting out of Zolak. He didn't like what he was getting out of Lucas, and certainly did not want to put Tupa as his backup quarterback. So he rolled the dice.
Meanwhile,
and it was a miscalculation, excuse me.
At this particular point, after what appeared to be a resurgence by the Jets last week, but tonight, at least to this point in the game, nothing on the offensive side of the ball, as Tupa's kick is a wobbly, low bouncer. It takes a neutral hop and is down at the 43-yard line with 1 minute and 52 seconds remaining in the third quarter, and Jacksonville up by 10. Let's check in with Leslie.
Alan Boomer, I found a guy who's in the right place, but he's a week early. Giant defensive star Michael Strahan. Michael, you'll be here next week against the Cowboys, both coming off tough losses.
Yeah, I mean, we've had several tough losses this year. They had a tough loss yesterday, in addition to Michael Irvin going down. So I think next Monday night's going to be pretty interesting.
Boomer was talking a little bit early. For both you and the Jets, are the defenses a little bit frustrated? Do you feel your offense hasn't given you enough help?
Well, I mean, it gets tough at times, but I think we've learned that whenever you stop worrying about your job and you're worrying about somebody else's, that's when you tend to slip up a little bit. So our thing is going to be to focus on what we can do to help the team as individuals and not worry about the offense. They haven't hit their groove yet, but hopefully, like the last couple of years, they'll finally get into a groove and we can win some games.
Just one last thing. You saw the field out there. Has that ever happened with the Giants?
No, it's Giant Stadium, so of course the turf won't rip up for us.
We'll hold you to that.
That's the whole mentality. When you're a Jet, that's the whole mentality you have to deal with here, you know?
That's a great rejoinder. After Stewart picks up 3, second down and 7 at the 40-yard line. And Brunell, after the play fake throws, it's caught by Damon Shelton. He gets whacked at the 35-yard line, a couple of yards shy of the first down, taken down by Mo Lewis as we approach the final minute of the third quarter.
And a really smart play by Mo Lewis that time. He was kind of in between Shelton and Kyle Brady, who was outside to his right, and he was basically playing in between both of them. And Mo Lewis has been around. He's smart. You can see him dropping back like that and just makes the play and actually tries to dislodge the ball from Shelton.
Third down and 2 now from the 35-yard line.
With one-on-one out here deep, you can go for it.
Instead, he throws nowhere, nobody home. James Stewart closest to it, 4th down.
And we'll try the punt again, but and now all of a sudden, no offense is moving. It's happening.
Well, the Jaguars, this is the way, in effect, they won last week's game against Pittsburgh, 17-3, 1 touchdown, 2 safeties.
This is not what you expect out of a team, however, that has guys like McCardell and Smith and Brady. And even though Taylor's not here tonight, you know, James Stewart's given them enough, more than enough.
22 carries and 88 yards for Stewart. Barker's punt. That signaled for her, but letting it bounce now, and it is down inside the 1. No, he was on the goal line. They tried to cut it so finely, did Barlow. Barlow was trying to down it at about the 6-inch line instead of being satisfied to maybe down it at the 2.
All right, well, we got to find another guy to do this. That's 2 in a row now. I mean, he was right there.
But their special teams have been so good, they're now just trying to take it to the very highest level. Watch where he is when he downs the ball.
Right, take a look at his heels. They're right on the goal line.
Remember, the goal line is part of the end zone. And he's in the end zone because his heel is on the line. So the Jets get a 19-yard break now from the 20-yard line. It is caught by Johnson, who's forced out of bounds by Fernando Bryant after a gain of 8.
The old squeaky wheel theory, you know, if the guy's over there complaining, get him the ball somehow just to get him off your back. Right, Al?
Well, he's the good guy to get the ball to right now. I mean, if he doesn't do it, tell me who is.
Well, and the thing about it, though, most of the time tonight, he's had 2 guys in his general vicinity. That time it was one-on-one, and you can see right here from up to this vantage point, looks like he's going to have one-on-one again.
Lining up with Beasley. They keep it on the ground now, and it's Martin who can't pick up the first down on a 2nd and 2. And the quarter will end with the Jets having a 3rd and 1. End of 3 in the Meadowlands. Jacksonville 13 and the New York Jets 3. Monday Night Football returns after this from our ABC stations.
On Johnson's last catch, what a beautiful catch it was, and he takes it out of bounds right here. And when you see when he runs out of bounds, you'll see right over here, right there on the top of your screen where he runs. We'll get back to that in a moment.
Yeah. 3rd down and 1 as Martin picks up the first down, and the Jets are able to move the sticks to the 31-yard line.
But interesting, on the sideline, you'll see as he runs out of bounds, there are 2 people hugging on the side. Al, I can't tell who it is.
Well,
maybe you can help me. Right here at the top of the screen, right there. Who are those 2 people, Al?
Well, that's why sideline reporters get hazard pay. Michael Strahan had been Leslie Visser's interviewee. In the meantime, Dick Stockton, Leslie's husband, is thumbing through the yellow pages as we speak. The 31-yard line on first down. This is Keyshawn Johnson picking up 5, tackled by Kevin Hardy. Parcells still making the play calls as he did last week, and as he told us he had done from time to time in the preceding weeks.
Well, you know, I think he wants to get to know his quarterback, and certainly now he has no choice. He's got to start to open it up a little bit. He's completed some short little passes here. He's gotten a little confidence, a little momentum right now. We have to try to build on that and continue to call plays to allow him to be successful.
2nd down and 5. And this is Martin, and Curtis picks up the first down. So they go to the ground to try to get the drive going, to give it some oomph. For Martin, that's rush number 14 for 62 yards.
And that was Charlie Weiss, the offensive coordinator of the Jets. The hardest thing for a play caller to do is to find out what this new quarterback is comfortable with. And certainly tonight, he doesn't look very comfortable in the pocket right now. And the short little passes, the three-step drop seem to be working for him, at least on this series.
Ray Lucas, one of the backup quarterbacks, along with Tom Tuca. The ball is at the 42. Good protection, but the coverage is there, so he goes to the far side and guns it in to Dedrick Ward, close to the first down marker, and it should be a first down at the 47-yard line.
You know, one of the things that came out of the Denver game last week was Rick Meyer's ability to run left and throw the ball while running left across his body. That time he delivered a strike by making a play out of nothing. And it was not an easy thing for a receiver to do, but one-on-one, Dedrick Ward's got some speed. And you could see number 21, Aaron Beasley, giving him some room back there, respecting that speed. Where is Eric Green? Where has he been?
He hasn't been anywhere all season. He's only made 2 catches. This is Johnson, and Keyshawn has a first down as he's out of bounds at the 36. So the first good-looking Jets drive since very early in the game.
And you just saw Eric Green, who had a monster game against the Jets last year, and then also in preseason, Bill Parcells asked Mo Lewis when he was getting ready to sign Eric Green, "You think we should get him?" And Mo said, "Yes, it's just so I don't have to cover him anymore." But the Jets certainly have not been able to get him involved in the offense. And a big guy like that, the ability to catch the ball, if I were the quarterback, I'd definitely be looking for him.
Nary a catch tonight for Green. Flag is thrown. Pass is caught just across the line of scrimmage by Curtis Martin. The game is over in Cleveland. The Red Sox advance to the American League Championship Series. Beat the Indians 12-8, and Pedro Martinez, not fit enough to start, comes in relief and pitches 6 hitless innings in relief.
You have offsides by the defense, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Offside on the defense, number 91, lining up in the neutral zone. First down, 5 yards to go.
Not to go haywire here for a sec, Al, but I'll tell you what, the Yankees and Red Sox and Braves and Mets, it doesn't get any better than that.
If you live in New York or Atlanta,
you know,
or Boston.
Right.
Of course, I live in L.A., so it's a whole other story. You get a football.
We can beat those guys at the bank, Al.
Yes. First down and 5 from the 32. This is Martin. And he gets taken down back at the 37-yard line. Bryce Pop coming through.
You know, Al, on 1st and 5, I want to throw the football. I think it's an opportunity to really do something on first down. Keep those little short passes going. Myers in a little bit of a rhythm now. All of a sudden it's 2nd and 10, and you're going to probably ask him to get back in a shotgun or put him in a situation where he's not comfortable.
2nd down and 10 from the 36-yard line. Receiver in the seam is Quinn Early at the 20-yard line. He got sandwiched, but got in between the 2 defenders, picks up a vital first down, 17-yard gain. And Bill making the next play call.
Good throw, good accurate throw this time. He throws it behind Early a little bit, saves him from taking Beasley straight on, and Early does a nice job of protecting the football and going down with it after sustaining a tough hit to the head.
1st and 10 from the 19-yard line. Meyer flushed out, nobody home, throws it away.
You have Aaron, on that particular play, you have Eric Green going against number 20, Donovan Darius. Now, Donovan Darius is a second-year safety who is 6'1", 216 pounds. And Eric Green is 6'5", 280. He's got to be able to feel confident of giving the ball to Eric Green and allowing him to make a play. He can make some plays for you, and if you have him locked up one-on-one with a guy who's smaller, if you don't have the confidence in the guy, you're not going to throw it. And these guys have never played together, and I think that's really hurting the offense of the New York Jets.
He's not going to make the next play. He's on the bench in this set. 2nd down and 10 from the 19-yard line. avoids an initial sack and then goes down to the 25-yard line. Smengi was first, and then Walker finishes him off. And Parcells will now have to make his most critical play call of the night on 3rd down and 15 from the 25-yard line. 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter. Jacksonville up by 10. Tom Capers, defensive unit here. And a huge play for the Jets to keep it going. It's been a good drive thus far. It began at the 20-yard line, but they need 3rd and long here. And it's a little dump off on the screen to Anderson, and he gets taken down to the 23. So they need 15 and get 2, and he's tackled by Kevin Hardy.
I think what you saw right there, Al, was the improvement of the Jaguar defense. Blitzing, all-out blitz, recognizing a screen, showing the speed that they have now on defense to be able to come back and make the play against Richie Anderson. Boy, they are vastly improved from where they were. They really look good on the field tonight.
And a lot of the credit to Don Capers, though he replaced a guy who did a pretty good job himself, Dick Duran, now the head coach of the Chicago Bears. 42-yard attempt by John Hall. Tom Tupa to hold it. John Hudson to snap it. And the kick is hooking, but it's good as it hooks inside the left upright. Hall has accounted for all of the Jets scoring tonight. 8:53 left in regulation as the Jets draw to within 7. Southwest Airlines, temperature in the 60s. The Jets line up as if they are going to onside kick it. Now Hall reverses himself and sends it down conventionally, but Barlow drops it. He's unsure whether he can run it out of the end zone or not, so he does and brings it back to the 13-yard line.
Well, you talk about a guy that's having a rough night. Oh, my goodness.
8:42 left in regulation, and the Jaguars have it at the muff. His impetus didn't take the ball into the end zone, but he couldn't be certain of it, so he had to run it out in his mind. First down from the 14-yard line as Stewart takes the ball up to the 24. In the meantime, John Hall, hey, he may have gone down to one of those seams.
Zippers, that's unbelievable. I mean, Reggie Barlow did the right thing by running it out. He did the wrong thing by muffing it.
Right. 2nd down and 1 from the 23-yard line. And this is Stewart, and the Jaguars can now begin to play a little clock ball, something Bill Parcells knows all about, something Parcells has done for years. In fact, when the Giants won their 2nd Super Bowl under Parcells against the Bills in Tampa in January of 1991. He talked all week long about ball control and wound up controlling the ball for 40 minutes.
Well, ball control is great. But you know what? You're only up 7 points. I mean, you still have to move the football, and you can't go into a shell. It's not like they've been out here lighting it up, though.
First down from the 29-yard line. They give it to Stewart again. And Stewart picks up 3 to the 32-yard line with 7.5 to go. Monday Night Football is being brought to you by Audi, by Ameritrade, believe in yourself, Priority Mail from the U.S. Postal Service, and Dr. Pepper and your local Dr. Pepper bottler. Dr. Pepper, this is the taste.
Now you have a veteran team, especially a veteran offensive team. You still have to let loose. You still have to play some football. You can't just go into a shell and try to just run the clock out.
2nd down and 8. From the 32-yard line, Brunell chased and just throws it away into the Jaguar bench. Almost didn't get it far enough.
Oh, he's outside the tackle box. There's no problem. But, you know, again, you can almost feel like the momentum of the Jet defense. I mean, they're all over the offense of the Jaguars. They really can't get anything going. And, you know, and now all of a sudden,
there's a flag.
Now he's going to call intentional grounding. Let's take a look at this here.
Well,
if he's out of the
play.
tackle boxes. Oh, he's actually inside. He didn't get all the way outside. Huh.
And the flag came in late.
Intentional grounding on the offense, number 8. Clock foul, loss of down, 3rd down.
I mean by the tackle boxes, if you draw a line to infinity from behind the tackles all the way through the back of the end zone, if you're outside those lines, you can throw the ball anywhere, in effect. Instead, if you're inside what they call the tackle box,
right,
it's grounding.
You can see right here. Here are your tackles right here. That's where that's the line. It's the line right inside those tackles.
17-yard penalty. It's 3rd and 25. And Brunel has to throw that one away. And a flag goes down at the end of that play. That's some other call. That's not grounding there.
You're going to have a legal man downfield this time on the Jacksonville Jaguars. Oh.
And that is the call. Brian Cox saying refuse it. We'll make it 4th down and make them kick.
Ineligible member of the captain team downfield. Captain is declined. 4th down.
And all of a sudden, it's nervous time for Tom Coughlin.
When you play conservative, this is what happens. You give a team that might not be as good as you a chance, an opportunity to keep the game close and then end up winning it if you're not careful.
On 4th down, Barker, who's been brilliant tonight, booms another one. And it sends Corey Sawyer all the way back to the 28-yard line, and he gets blasted up at the 37 by Eric Stores. So Brian Barker, who had an 83-yard punt earlier, who's made 2 great plays on holds for Mike Hollis. Remaining in the 4th quarter as the Jets take over from their 36-yard line. And Meyer tries to dump it off and is able to get it off. He was in the grasp of Gary Walker, but not in the grasp and control. So in other words, you didn't have a whistle there, and Meyer was able to dump it off for the incomplete pass.
And I'll tell you, Gary Walker laid him down pretty good, too. You talk about little plays and little plays that are significant plays. This is one of those little plays. Walker gets through there rather quickly and actually got a hold of Meyer right here, and Meyer does a nice job of getting rid of the football and not taking the sack.
Saved himself about 8 yards. Struck him down at 10. Meyer, a little dump off over the middle. It is caught there by Martin, and Curtis is taken down at the 42. It'll be 3rd down and 4. Tom Coughlin very much believing in his defense, and take a look at that. I mean, look at the rank in every category, and those are all important categories. They are number 1 in the league.
So, and he told us flat out yesterday that he's going to play the percentages. If like I've been saying all night long, if he feels like an offense can't move the football, he'll put it in his defense's lap to win the football game for him, and that's where they're at right now.
3rd down and 4. Martin and Curtis cannot get the 1st down, so it's 4th down and 2, and Parcells is forced to make a key call here. Gary Walker makes the stop, and Bill is going to take a timeout. And if that is the case, then he is clearly indicating that he is going to go for it.
Wouldn't waste your time.
4th down and that much, about a yard, after the Jets take a timeout. And so Parcells with a very big gamble here. 5:41. If he doesn't call a timeout there, he still has all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning.
And you put the onus on the offense of the Jaguars to throw the football.
Right now the onus is on your offense in a double tight end set on 4th and 1.
You're a genius if you make it. You're a goat if you don't.
And here is Martin, and Curtis is able to get to the 46-yard line. We pull back very close. Kevin Hardy makes the tackle.
I don't think so, Al.
They'll unpile. The stick is almost exactly on the 46. The ball is, I don't think, it's not even close where they're putting the ball down right now. They're putting it just across the 45-yard line. And where they spotted the ball, that's not even close.
You know, Al, problems happen on the offensive line that force running backs to run outside and run where they don't want to run. And penetration by the defensive line of the Jacksonville Jaguars and a missed block at the point of attack. lead to the inability of the running back to make the play. And right at the point of attack on the left side, you'll see coming flying inside, number 90, or actually 91, Seth Payne, forcing Martin outside.
Parcells not averse to gambling, but this one comes back, at least for the moment, to bite. Bill Parcells barked all the way through that commercial break. And I guess in part, as the Jaguars have Stewart busting tackles, there's a flag down, and Stewart gets all the way to the 10-yard line. And Coughlin is going to do the barking right now because it's against the Jaguars. And James Stewart came up a little gimpy at the end of that play, and is a little slow in returning to the huddle, or maybe the sideline.
Number 62, 10 yards, remaining first down.
Ben Coleman.
Take a look at Ben Coleman right here. He's the left guard. Take a look at this right here. He's actually pulling a little bit, trying to get up. And actually looks like he tackles Brian Cox. And the runner, actually, Stewart was already past him. But, you know, Coleman doesn't know that. And Cox looks like he threw himself right into him.
An injury to insole here as he was grasping his hamstring was Stewart. So now on 1st and 19, they put Chris Howard in the game. And Howard takes the ball to the 50-yard line. Second-year guy out of Michigan who went to training camp with the Denver Broncos last year. So they're minus Fred Taylor. For the moment, minus James Stewart in a position where they have to try to take some time off the clock. And reduce now to your number 3 running back. Stewart, meanwhile, 25 carries for 97 yards. And then this.
And now you'll have Tavian Banks in there, Al, taking the place of Chris Howard.
Banks normally the third down back, and that's Banks in motion. Second down and 15. And Brunell throwing, and it's caught and out of bounds at the 46-yard line goes Keenan McCardell. Not really what you want to do, a 5-yard pickup and go out of bounds to stop the clock.
Not at this point in the game, you don't. And again, it's a conservative play call. And Mark took his time delivering the football and gave Ricardo a little bit more time to get to the sideline. But it still goes back to the timeout. I mean, I don't get that.
Well, the timeout, the play call.
But the way your defense has been playing, you know, I punt it and I back them up if I can.
Third down and 10 at the 45-yard line. Brunell out of the gun. Throws over the middle. It is caught. That's Brady making the catch. We're tackled at the 38-yard line, 3 yards shy of the first down by Victor Green. Now they're going to send Barker in again, probably after he'd had some words with Barlow about what he expects Reggie to do when the ball is downed inside the 5-yard line.
And Reggie's out there. He's ready to go.
He is. You know, it's been a long night for the Jets fans when during the commercial break the call went up, Boomer, Boomer. Get your pads on.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, well, they did. And then they started chanting for Lee Gross Cup, and I knew it was out of hand. Fourth down from the 38-yard line. As Barker floats one, bouncing, and there it is. There is Reggie at the 2-yard line.
Redemption is at hand.
Third time is the charm.
Well, if he would have made a mistake that time.
So Barlow twice tried to be cute, and it cost him. And here he is, and this time he knew for certain.
You know what's really interesting there, Al, is that the Jets only had one guy on him. Usually they'll have 2 guys on the gunner like that.
Sure.
Not to allow him a free run down the sideline like that.
Especially a guy like that. I mean, it's still mystery.
We should have 2 guys on him to stop him at the line of scrimmage and not give him an opportunity to get down the field and get the ball.
So the Jets are now faced with having to go 97 yards on a night in which they picked up 175 yards total in 56 minutes. Meyer throws over the middle for Johnson, incomplete. In and out of his hands, and he drew a crowd up at the 25. Darius and Bryant, the primary coverage.
I can understand the reason why you want to get the ball to Johnson, but there are other guys that are open. That time, Quinn Early, number 88, was wide open. and he tried to force it into Keyshawn Johnson. You take a look at this. There's 3 guys around Keyshawn Johnson. You know, I mean, I understand, you know, he's a great football player, but you're going to get him killed, first off. And secondly, there's a chance for an interception. You know, I know he doesn't like to throw, and I know he doesn't want to throw it there because he has Quinn Early wide open underneath.
Meyer averaging a little bit more than 4 yards per pass attempt tonight. And to try to give them some room, instead they lose ground. It's Gary Walker who breaks through and knocks down Martin at the 1-yard line.
And you'll have an illegal formation for the New York Jets, Al. It's either illegal motion or an illegal formation.
Against the Jets, Jaguars, of course, Coughlin says decline it. Tom watched his team last week record 2 safeties in the 4th quarter against Pittsburgh, and they're close to getting one here.
You could see right there, Walker just beating number 71 Kerry Jenkins inside, and this offense it just looks bad. The balls are going to the wrong guys. They're having trouble getting out of their own way. And I've been there, Al. I know how frustrating it is.
Well, 3rd and 11 as Meyer goes to the back of the end zone and then dumps it off to Martin. He can only get to the 6, and now they put themselves in an impossible position, and they can't even, or will they go for it? The punting group starts to come in, then they are called back. It is 4th down and 6. The Jets have 2 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning, so they can stop the clock 3 times.
Wow.
And they're going to go for it.
Oh.
So in effect, the ball game right here for New York is 4th down and 6. The play clock all the way down to 4. They have to get it to the 13-yard line.
Johnson's wide open. Just throw it to him.
Keyshawn up at the 15, and instead the pass is too high to another open man. That's Eric Green, and he can't handle it. The Jaguars will get the football.
Al, the only thing I can say in defense of Rick Meyer is the fact that he hasn't been here. He hasn't seen it enough. He's playing against the best defense in football right now, and you can just sense. And here's Keyshawn running wide open. He's not even looking at him. And I don't know how his reads are set. And the first ball that's thrown to Eric Green is a ball that's high and away and not an easy catch. Keyshawn's wide open. He's not even seeing him. One of the real criticisms of Rick Meyer is that he doesn't see the field that well, and he's not making quick decisions, and he's not decisive in his decisions. The fact that he hasn't been in this offense, Al, can lend credence to that and will make it even more apparent. But
well, all I know is that a week ago there were high hopes again in Jets land as James Stewart is back in the game, and right now you're back to where you were on opening day, as they are moments away from going to 1-4. Ask Furman Edwards.
For one time, my name is Broadway Joe. My name is Joe. My name is Joe. Joe.
The game dominated by the Jacksonville Jaguars from 32 and from 44. This is in effect what would be an extra point from 21 yards away. Hollis, third field goal attempt, another high snap. Steve Lindsay And this ball skipping down to the 2-yard line. Then it's into the end zone and falling down in a play that kind of symbolizes the way the night is.
Jets, you have tabloid newspapers, you have talk shows, you have TV shows. He's going to have to do it.
Instead, it's going to be a very depressing defeat. And that's Johnson making the catch, and that'll look good on the stat sheet and no place else. At the 45-yard line with 6 ticks left. Championship series, and the Jets will lick their wounds and face the Indianapolis Colts here on Sunday. Giants Dallas next Monday. A little Hail Mary to end it, and it winds up in the arms of Donovan Darius, who intercepts it and can take it all the way back to North Florida with him right now, because the Jacksonville Jaguars, it wasn't pretty, but this team is